Who is here in person, everyone who is here online. Some people, it's your first time here or you've rarely been here. So just a reminder that many things are transliterated, and yaidadai, la 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 are always awesome ways to express what's in one's heart. So I would like to invite up Brett and Emily for candle lighting, for the honor of candle lighting. It's on page 5. Brett and Emily are some of the coordinators for our younger adults group here. And so tonight we've got a kind of kickoff OSE Young Adults extravaganza, experience, a gathering of sorts. So thank you so much, Brett and Emily, for your leadership. Join them during the Oneg. And if you're online, come another time or we'll get you in touch. Wait, we gotta just keep an eye sometimes. Oh, look at that.
Oh, you got the trick candle.
So candles here at OSE, I find, always give us the opportunity to really start to enter into Shabbat by just being and noticing what happens in the world around us. Exactly. What is the, nice. How does the AC affect things? The world is uncertain, and we get to, wow, with support, see what happens.
There you go.
Nice.
Just don't sing directly into the flame.
Whoa, ooh.
Ready?
Amen. Shabbat shalom. I always get this in the way. So Shabbat shalom. So, thank you. You may have a seat.
Shalom.
We are turning to page 13 as we start to arrive, welcoming in ourselves in a fuller way, welcoming in the angels, and then moving into Psalm 95 and 96, where we get to use 3 different words for joy. Rina, as in lahuna ranana. Ranana is Rina, joy. And then we're going to get to sing out Yismachu Hashamayim. May there be simcha, joy in the heavens. Vegila, tagel. There will be another kind of joy, ha'aretz, right here on the earth. Right here on the earth. And later in Lachadodi, we sing Yasis Alaich. There's another kind of joy as well. So really a reminder that even with the whirlwind of this past week's events, on Shabbos, we are to nourish ourselves with joy in all the ways and places we can find it. Shalom Aleichem, page 13. First, we arrive, invite in all the presences, the beings, ourselves, those around us.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoret, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem v'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, השלום מלאכי עליון מי מלך מלאכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
The angels have arrived. I hear even from up here. Page 20.
לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו נקדמה, פניו בתודה. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו בזמירות נריה לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו נקדמה, פניו בתודה. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו בזמירות נריה לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו נקדמה, פניו בתודה. נריה, נריה, לצוי אישנו בזמירות נריה לו. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני. לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה, לכו נרננה לאדוני.
Next page or so. 27, not at all the next page.
ישמחו השמיים,
השמיים
ישמחו השמיים,
השמיים
ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים,
השמיים
ישמחו השמיים,
השמיים
ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל ותגל הארץ. From the heavens, Yismecho Shamayim, rejoicing. V'tagel haaretz, and the land rejoicing. We can now welcome in the Sabbath bride. Page 41, followed by 45, third verse, and then 47, both verses. But I'll tell you what page in a moment again. Guess this tune.
Lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. Shamor v'nachor v'dibor echad, Ishmiyanu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'tidlah. Lecha dodi, lekrat kala, Shabbat, nekabela.
45, third verse.
Vayu l'imshisa she'osayich, v'rachaku mermelayich, yasis alayich Elohayich, kimsos chatan al kala. Lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela.
47.
Yamin u'shmoti frotzi, v'et atanoi taharitzi, al yadish ben palti, ben ismecha v'nagila. Lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela.
Please rise as we turn to welcome the Sabbath bride through our doors into our midst.
Boi v'shalom, atzeret bala, gam b'simcha u'tzehola. Tov emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, lekrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela.
You may have a seat.
Sorry.
That's okay. Take your time. We can just take a moment to look around the space to see who is here in this evening and greet one another with a smile, through masks, without masks, however. And those of you on Zoom, you're being greeted by people as well, and we welcome you, and you can greet one another as well. community. Community sustains us. Right? Love doesn't just mean romantic love, of course. Love means opening our hearts, smiling at someone, letting our guard be down so we can receive and we can give. And during this kind of week that we had in our government and our country, we know that what sustains, what connects, what serves as the foundation for all is really love. Love is all there is. Love is why I live. My beloved, you are always in my heart. Now and forever I am yours.
Love is all there is.
Love is why I live. Love is all there is. Love is why I live. Oh, my beloved, you are always in my heart. Oh, my beloved, you are always in my heart, now and forever. I am yours, now and forever. I am yours. Please rise. Page 57. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Forever.
You may be seated. Oh, my beloved. Oh, my beloved. You are always in my heart. Oh, my beloved. You are always in my heart, now and forever. I am yours, now and forever. I am yours. 65. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu. Shema Yisrael Adonai Echad. Oh, my beloved, you are always in my heart. Oh, my beloved, you are always in my heart, now and forever. I am yours, now and forever. Arabic, there is no God but God. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Baruch Shem Kavod
Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Some moments, either with the Shema paragraphs 65 to 73, or just with your heart. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 79. Feel free to put down your sidurim. Am I in the right place? Yes, that's right. Feel free to put down your sidurim if you need to, so you can feel freedom moving through us as we feel the music moving through us.
Okay.
We might get up and dance.
Micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha,
Elim Adonai.
Micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, micha mocha, nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, nora tehilot, osef eleh. Ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la ya la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 Micha mocha, micha mocha, micha
Just like our ancestors sang and danced at the edge of the sea when we got to freedom, we get to enact that, especially when the Spirit moves us with this wonderful guitar playing and singing and percussion from all of us. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאול ישראל. Page 81. In the Hebrew on page 81, we are in the last word of the first line, or in the transliteration on page 83. We are the second word in the second line, and then we go back to the very beginning for both of those. Ufos aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha, spread over us a sukkah of wholeness. Ufos aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufos aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufos aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom. May we lay down, dear God, in wholeness, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim, and raise us again for life. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Ufros aleinu Sukkot Shlomecha. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. V'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Page 418. Especially in honor of the founding of our nation and its independence. I invite you to chant along with me, not reading, reciting, but whatever way your own voice feels called to. Sovereign of the universe, mercifully receive our prayer for our land and its government. Let your blessing pour out on this land and on all its officials of this country who are occupied in good faith with the public's needs. Instruct them from your Torah's laws. Enable them to understand your principles of justice, so that peace and tranquility, happiness and freedom might never turn away from our land. Please, wise one, God of the life breath of all flesh, waken your spirit within all inhabitants of our land, and plant among the peoples of different nationalities and faiths who dwell here love and brotherhood, peace and friendship. Uproot from their hearts all hatred and enmity, all jealousy and vying for supremacy. Fulfill the yearning of all the people of our country to speak proudly in its honor. Fulfill the desire to see it become a light to all nations. Therefore, may it be your will that our land should be a blessing to all inhabitants of the globe, cause to dwell among all peoples friendship and freedom, and soon fulfill the vision of your prophet. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Let them learn no longer ways of war, and let us say, Amen. And personal prayers begin on page 91 if you are using the Siddur, 91 to 107. You are free to use the words of your heart or any of the other numerous readings and prayers in our Siddur. I invite you to rise as you are able. Page 107, last stanza in the Hebrew, fourth line down in the transliteration. May the masculine divine presence and the feminine divine presence, feminine language you'll listen for, it's not in our Siddur, help in a balanced way to bring wholeness to all of us and to all beings on this earth.
Oh, say shalom,
Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, osa shalom, divine feminine, shalom bimromecha, he taseh shalom, hu
yaseh shalom,
he
taseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen, ve'imru amen. Return to prayers of healing. We will start our chant together, Moshe's prayer for his sister Miriam to be healed, as we pray for all those in our hearts and our congregations list, those names you can put into the chat, and you can rise and you can add their names as I look around the room. Ana Elna Refanala. Please, God, heal them. Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana La, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana La, Ana Elna. A little stronger. Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Refana La, Ana Elna. Keep going. Ana. Thomas Gaines and Elizabeth Gaines, Robin Burnwald, Joanne Alter, Diane Brovman, Sydney Brovman, Sarah Glazer, Beth Sellers, Robbie Esmond, Charlotte Drosner, James Bowman, Ed Richton, John Owens, Linda Lapari. If there are names you'd like to add, I invite you to rise. Michael Schoenfeld, Jacob Freilich, Yaakov Ben Chaim Vachaya, Luba Becher, Yelena Skamarkas, Leah Bat Liba Simeon, Stan Kuznets, Joshua Ben Moshe Abasia, Simeon Becher, Rita Pokrivki, Mary Wieners, Charlie Wieners, Diane Miller, Larry Clemage, Leib Bear, Ben Yehuda, Leib Lillian,
Mary Meyerson, Chana Badavin Basara, Gary Rosenthal, Van Tipton, Sitkiyahu Yehuda Ben Van Beverly, Rabbi Marsha Prager, Rav Miriam Yael Batsara, Father William Tracy, Julian Miller, Heather Kuznets, Phyllis Hopman, Vega Labadlepa, Josephine Becker, Josefa Badmila Emmanuel. Nael na, Ana elna, Ana elna, Rifana la. Amen. So I'm gonna come down for tonight's drash. You can read easier? Can you, and maybe? So tonight's drash has 3 parts. None is very long, so but there are 3 parts so that you understand the flow. First, I'll be sharing a story of mine about my Jewish journey to the Jewish journey in general. It was also an important story with me in the rabbinate. Second, a little bit of framing of some of what we have been swimming in these past couple of weeks. First, with the Torah Parsha cycle and our sacred texts there, and then about the country in general. And lastly, some of us saw a rainbow tonight. I'll be talking about the moon and some a teaching from this moon cycle. So first, a story. Some of you know I lived in Japan for 3 years after college, and I had a friend there who was Canadian. And I remember walking with him one time, and he said to me, "You're so lucky you're Jewish." Joel, why? Because pogroms, the Holocaust, just regular anti-Semitism. What's so lucky about this? I was not on the journey to be a rabbi. I would never have imagined it. Right, as farthest thing from my mind, literally. I'm proud to be Jewish. I'm Hanukkah Passover Jew, Hebrew school dropout. Yeah, I like being Jewish, but I'm lucky to be Jewish. And he said, because you know where you came from. Well, I know genealogy back to great-grandparents, but I don't know beyond that. He said, well, I only know back to my grandparents. I'm from Canada. I only know back that far, but you're part of something larger. You're part of something so much larger. And so that really struck me in terms of the power of that, and it continued to kind of sink in more and more over time of what does it mean to be able to claim these ancient traditions of candle lighting, of taking a breath, of singing together in community, sharing food, slowing down, being in joy, marking time, marking life, celebrations, difficult times. To have ancient texts that predate whatever we can imagine just about, right? And we still study them. And yet, although in our sacred text, we say they're etched in stone originally, right? The first tablets were written in stone. They broke. Moses wrote them again. They're etched in stone. And yet, the way that I relate to Judaism is far from it being actually etched in stone, ossified, stuck, rigid. We have this ancient foundation that can help me be who I most want to be, to make sense of the whole vicissitude of what does it mean to be alive, to be human. So, what, in light of our Torah Parsha cycle, or Torah portion cycle, right, whichever, Hebrew, English, the different pieces. So what have we been engaged with recently in the past couple of weeks in our ancient sacred texts? 2 weeks ago, we read in the Torah about the Jewish scouts. We were leaving Egypt, and 12 scouts were sent off to the promised land to see what it looked like. And they came back, and although their report talked about the great abundance, the overall message was about fear. Their report was riddled, their expression, their communication was riddled with fear. And because of that, and because of the infectious nature of fear that spread to most everybody who was there, everyone who felt that fear was doomed to die in the wilderness. From a place of fear, we can never get to the promised land. The next generation is who could enter the promised land. But when we are rooted in fear, we can never get there. Just last week, a number of our ancestors in our sacred stories disappeared when they revolted against the leadership. Under the leadership of Korach. In fact, they disappeared by being swallowed up alive. They went to Sheol. And since the Torah is a multivalent sacred text, I wonder what swallowing up can mean in this day and age. This week, Parshat Chukat, Miriam and Aaron, Moses' brother and sister, die. We know that he will be dying soon. They're siblings. It's a generation. A generation is dying. A time is coming to an end. An era is coming to a close, and new possibilities will be coming forth. Along with that Torah reading cycle, some highlights from the past 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, a minyan of OSE members joined thousands of people in person and many more who were online for the Poor People's Campaign Moral Assembly March and Rally in Washington, D.C. We were touched, we were inspired by this powerful movement that is not concerned with the political right and left, but with the moral right and wrong. And when you check out their website, you can poorpeoplescampaign.org, peoples with an S. You can read about the 12 fundamental principles of this movement. Number 1, we are rooted in a moral analysis based on our deepest religious and constitutional values that demand justice for all. Moral revival is necessary to save the heart and soul of our democracy. Number 12, the campaign and all its participants and endorsers embrace nonviolence. Violent tactics or actions will not be tolerated. Check out numbers 2 and 11 on their website, 2 through 11 at their website. Last week, so that was 2 weeks ago, last week the Supreme Court overturned what many of us never could have imagined. Of course, Roe versus in the ruling of Roe versus Wade. But just yesterday, we celebrated the swearing in of a new justice, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, the first Black woman to serve on the American Supreme Court. What a joyous occasion indeed. In addition, over the past couple of weeks, many of us have been following the powerful and painful January 6th hearings. And this week, we had the simultaneously shocking and perhaps not so shocking testimony by Cassidy Hutchinson, quite a hero. So much more has been taking place in addition to these powerful, very few highlights that I just shared. So what a whirlwind of energy that we've been swirling in with this kind of thing, and the Poor People's Campaign, which is not about just poor people, it's about lifting from the bottom so we all can rise, and morality, and democracy, and nonviolence, and so many more very important values. And then so much pulling us down in another way. So returning to my original story and framework, what does Judaism have to offer about this? So I will ask a question that many of you have heard me ask in the past. Who has seen the moon recently? A couple people, what did it look like? Or show with your hands, or you saw it when it was full? Okay, who saw it? And when was it? When was that? So, right, we know it wasn't right now. Was it a week ago? Was it, when was it? It was sometime. Okay, but I saw it when I was round and it wasn't right now. Anyone else see it when it was a little, in a time between when it was round and now? Yeah? And when was that? Okay, and what did it look like then? Partial, yeah. So on the bigger side or the smaller side of partial? I know, isn't it amazing? It's hard to know, right? Like life is so busy. We're coming and we're going and we're looking at this level. Are you raising your hand? Oh, okay. I don't know. So the moon, if you when you're looking at the sky, or you can check your Jewish calendar, you could know that actually the new moon was this month, this week. It was this month. Exactly. Every month it's this month. Exactly. The new moon was this week. It was Tuesday night, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday. Some new moons, as we call it, right? It doesn't mean a no moon as it is in the moon calendars like that. The Jewish new moon means you got to have a little bit of a sliver, but sometimes it's a 1 day and sometimes it's a 2 day new moon holiday. Talk about that another time. But the point being is that our new moon cycle has started this week. And with the moon, not only does it give us the rhythm of our days and our weeks and our months and our years all year round together with the sun, but the moon cycle in Judaism also has an ebb and flow of energy connecting to different things that happened historically or our holidays and different things like that. So, a teaching about the new moon, this moon cycle, or really this moon cycle of Tammuz that we now find ourselves in. This is from Rabbi Miriam Maron in her book, Ancient Moon Wisdom. Tammuz is a month that commemorates the beginning of the end. The fatal assault on Jerusalem by the Babylonians that eventually brought down the first temple exiled our prophets and many of our tribes and destroyed the first Jewish commonwealth about 2,600 years ago. It's also believed to be the beginning of the siege around Jerusalem 500 years later that led to the destruction of the second temple and the end of the second Jewish commonwealth, this time by the Romans. According to Midrash, the moon of Tammuz is the beginning of the period during which the night begins to borrow from the day. Darkness partakes of light. Tragedy reaches into the coffers of hope and draws on faith. As bleak as it can be to consider this in times of heaviness, another midrash about Tammuz teaches us to use the darkness to discover the light. In the light, the ancient ones reminded us, one cannot see what is in the darkness. In the darkness, however, one can see into the light. If you're standing in the dark, you can easily see what's going on inside a home that's lit up. And when you're inside a lit up home, it is very hard to see what's outside in the dark. So as we look around us and we see, like these past 3 weeks in our Torah reading cycle, and as we see in our world right now in these past weeks that we've been in, we can see signs of fear, of uprising, and certainly of a changing of times. We see light, we see dark, in the deep polarization, in the violence, and so much more that's on hand. And people like Cassidy Hutchinson, Justice Jackson, and the rising energy behind the Poor People's Campaign, mobilizing millions of Americans to put our nation's moral emergency, together with promising solutions, in front of our leaders. So at the beginning of this Tammuz, this week, the beginning of the end, at a larger scale than we could ever have imagined, is becoming increasingly clear. Even as I experience concern over the unknown, I am also excited for the new possibilities, life, and energy that will surely be coming forth as the world which we once knew and took for granted begins to shift in unavoidable and unimaginable ways. So this High Holy Days, I'll be talking more about this. But in the meantime, may we continue to gather in community and engage in practices that nourish our light and lift up the light that exists within us, within one another, and when we look around in so many places around us. Shabbat Shalom. With that, we turn to page 119, and we rise for Kiddush. Every Shabbat, we remember that, yes, we can be free from Egypt. We can be free from the constraints of narrowness, which means sometimes we feel ourselves in the constraints, sometimes we feel our freedom, but may we always look and remember the hope and possibility that lies on the other side.
Sabrei Chavarei, Baruch
L'chaim.
Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, Borei Peri Hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, Asher kitzanu b'mitzvotav v'ratah banu, v'shabbat kodesho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lemahaseh b'reishit, ki hu yom techila, למקרוא קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי עלינו קראת, ואותנו קידשת, לעבודתך, בשבת קודשך, ביהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Remain standing and turn to 121 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שנתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
125.
Tu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam bo'ed, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Thank you. You may be seated. Turn to page 131 for Mourner's Kaddish. Tonight we are remembering the yard sites of Bessie Bergovsky, the grandmother of Linda Bergovsky, Kurt Michael Friedman, the brother of Andy Friedman, Anna Gudelsky, the aunt of Holly Stone, Pearl Jacobowitz, the mother of Melanie Bernhardt, Donald Jandorf, the father of Paige Goodwin, Renee Candle, the mother of Shelley Reese, Sam Kessler, the father of Harold Kessler, Litman Leto, the father of Leon Leto. Florence Malove, the grandmother of Stephanie Fink. Celia Ominsky, the aunt of Hannah Gould. Elizabeth Quigley, the mother of Patrick Quigley. Linda Rashba, the sister of Stephen Ehrman. Ruth Rebecca Schwartz, the mother of Susan Hirsch. Gerald Lee Seth, the stepfather of Beth Krakauer. Donna Shurkin, the mother of Diane Cohen. Parashiva Uzum, the grandmother of Ioana Stoica. And Gladys Chern Weinschach, the mother of Diana Parson. If there are other names you would like to mention, either in the chat or in person, I invite you to do so. I also invite you to rise if you are in mourning or remembering a yard site, or it is your custom to do so. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei Rabbah, b'yalma divrach yutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei l'kudusha La'el amin kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlam rav amin shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. I would like to invite up Ray. Wait, are we doing? No, hold on just 1 second. Are we really announcements right now? Probably. Yes. Okay, great. Announcements and then birthday blessings. Oh, there we go. Or, sorry, yes, please. Josh is turning that on. Great. Nikki Lincoln, our Vice President of Membership.
That's right. Is there a president?
Or what is it, Vice President? What is it, VP?
Just
is it VP
chair.
membership?
Just
Chair.
the
Chair of
membership
membership. There we
Just
go.
the chair.
You've been-
Just the chair.
Okay.
All right, so very nice, Josh, Rabbi, about community. That was
thank
wonderful.
you.
Yeah, right? And so some announcements that go with community. And right now with community, it's either by Zoom or some in person and some hybrid. So let me give you some things that you can do with us as a community. By Zoom, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, Making Prayer Real morning service with Rabbi Josh. That is Zoom only. So join us for our monthly discussion format. Come dive deeper into prayer through exploration and interaction. In person, join the High Holy Days Choir. This is starting in August. Do you love to sing? We'd love to have you join us for the OSE High Holy Days Choir. No audition, thank goodness, right? No fancy skills needed, just the ability to carry a tune. That seems a little, important, right? Fancy right there. And you have to be able to attend rehearsals starting in early August. If you have any questions or if you're interested in joining, contact Cantor Caitlin. In person, swim teacher sought for the Afghan family that we're sponsoring. Our Afghan family has a pool in their apartment complex. The children, who are ages 3 to 8, love the swimming pool, but they need some swim lessons to stay safe. So we can pay someone or approve community service hours to one of our students. Check your e-news for emailing Eileen Hollander. Another Zoom event, religious school information session, Tuesday, July 5th and 13th at 7:30 p.m. Do you have family or friends who are looking for a dynamic and warm school community for their child? Invite them to learn about OSE's religious school programs, including Eco-Judaism, Tikkun Olam projects, Torah, Modern Hebrew, Jewish cooking, and more. Your child will experience a place to explore their Jewish journey with music and spirit. In person, popsicles and playground time. Hey, that sounds good, Andy. We need to check this one out. Sunday, July 10th, 9:30 a.m. to 11. Enjoy connecting with other parents and let your children reconnect with friends. There will be popsicles and lots of time in the park at the new, huge playground at Laura's Place in Bland-Air Regional Park North, Columbia, Maryland. The event is for 2 to 12-year-olds. And last but not least, hybrid. Caring and support is here when you need us. Need support after an illness, surgery, new baby, or other life event? OSE can be there for you. Contact Caring and Support. Thank you very much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Nikki. So, as this is our first Friday of the month, we get to celebrate birthdays. If you have a July birthday on Zoom, you can stand up if you're on Zoom. Or if you have a July birthday and you're here in person, I invite you to come on up for a birthday blessing. July. I know, except for Barbara who's doing the Zooming. We can give you, Are anyone on Zoom having a birthday? Oh, Rebecca is. Okay, great. So, Rebecca and Barbara, we can, if you want to stand in your different places, I will offer, we got this little window here, Barbara, when you're ready, if you want to stand, I can offer you blessing through the, da-da-da. May the Holy One who blessed our ancestors bless each one of you, Rebecca and Barbara, for the unique gift that you each are, the many gifts that you each uniquely offer to the world with caring and your heart and your wisdom. And we are so blessed to have you in our community, to be recipients of your amazing volunteering and just your wonderfulness that you each are. May you continue to have many, many more happy birthdays, continue to come together in our community so we can all be enriched by your presence. And let us say, Amen. And we can sing Shechianu or just kind of chant through. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Happy birthday.
Yom Holed Sameach.
We would like to close with page 849, the first two verses, and the chorus that you all know.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters, this land was made